On today's primetime local news, City Council moves forward with brand new entrance signage for the border city.
We present an image of our community. We want to present a modern, clean image.
The SUMA event honors one of our own City Council, Ken Baker, recognized for 20 years in service.
It's a point of pride for me having got to work with Ken in the different roles I've had in the community for the last 15 plus years.
And RCMP teams up with the Lions Club members for an info session on how to keep the community safe.
We did see a decrease in property crime over the last year.
Plus, on Beyond the Boards, why silly mistakes are costing the Bobcats major points.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
A name change wasn't the only big news at this year's Municipality of Saskatchewan Convention, formerly known as the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association. Lloydminster received their share of recognition, and our Eric Bay has more.
Councillors returned to work at City Hall with a little more hardware Monday. Councillor Ken Baker was named the latest recipient of the Meritorious Service Award for over 20 years of service in Lloydminster, something his counterparts believe is well earned.
Very few people in the province get that honor. You'd have to be elected 5 times minimum to meet that criteria, and Councillor Baker has done that both as a councillor and as a mayor, and it's a point of pride for me having got to work with Ken in the different roles I've had in the community for the last 15 plus years. He hates the recognition, but he deserves every bit of it.
Also receiving recognition was the City of Lloydminster, taking 3rd place at the Saskatchewan Municipal Awards for its Beware the Grease Beast initiative, focused on preventing drain pollution. Amazing
to have that happen in front of 1,000 delegates and showcase Lloydminster's intuitive direction in that way. And we had so many people approach us after the fact to say, man, we have this same problem, and how are you guys reducing this? Is it working? So that was great.
The convention also gave city officials a chance to speak with members of the provincial government on a few issues facing Saskatchewan municipalities.
We are all facing the same challenges. Doesn't matter what size of municipality you have. You can be a summer village, you can be a village, you can be a town or a city. We're facing water, sewer, and infrastructure challenges in every community in Saskatchewan. And it's a challenge that they have to face, the province will have to face, and the federal government will have to face.
Another topic of discussion was revenue sharing from the cannabis excise tax.
When the federal government initially allocated the percentage that they did, the intention was the province would take a share and then municipalities would be allocated a share. That has not been the case in Saskatchewan. They have made it pretty clear that they do not intend to share any of the revenue.
Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
And while there were some disagreements among council members, the City of Lloydminster is moving forward with a design for 4 new entrance signs this year. Josh Ryan has more on that decision.
In trying to continue to help Lloydminster move forward as a vibrant community that can attract new residents, City Hall wants the updated entrance signage to reflect that.
When we present an image of our community, we want to present a modern, clean image. I hear often how clean and how nice our city was this past summer from people that have traveled through. So we're trying to encourage that.
Council approved the second option from PM Signs, which includes a solar power electrical assembly.
What's the maintenance costs on each of them? Are they going to have the same useful life? And then with useful life also comes, is it going to stay attractive for a longer period of time in terms of the design elements?
One concern was that trying to keep branding consistent will result in further costs down the road.
If you look at the sign that's downtown Lloydminster on Highway 17, I thought option A reflected that sign better. So we're going to have another request come to council, I'm guessing, to try and update that sign to match the other 4 entrance signs. So it's a little concerning to me that way.
A counter is this design will keep the city within its initial budget for the project.
We had budgeted that amount to get 2 signs, and we're getting 4 signs out of that deal. So the cost benefit of that decision, we're getting a lot more than what we originally thought we would be getting out of that. So I'm happy enough with that.
And if the new signs exhibit similar longevity to these original stones, we won't revisit this conversation for at least a few more decades.
We got 30 years out of the stone, so we'll hope we can get 30 years out of these.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News.
After months of searching, the city of Lloydminster and the Lloydminster Fire Department announced their new fire chief. Today is his second day on the job, and he'll have plenty more days to come. Our Jasmine King has more.
Lee Sawicki was named fire chief. He has been a firefighter for around 20 years, where he was jumping back and forth from province to province. He was most recently the fire chief in Wetaskiwin. For Chief Sawicki, coming to a place where the city is lying between two provinces was interesting to him, as it brought forward new challenges.
I was looking for something bigger than what I was in before, so career advancement, hearing a lot of good things over the last year. They've kind of gone to a composite type model, which was a neat challenge. I've come from a union department, worked in several volunteer departments, and just thought it would be a great challenge.
When past Fire Chief Jordan Newton accepted a new position in the city, they started looking for a new fire chief. The city wasn't sure how long it'd be until they choose a new one. They had plenty of strong applicants, but Chief Sawicki stood out more.
We were very pleased to see the amount of applicants we had, and we had a whole bunch of very qualified applicants. Chief Sawicki's experience not only in Wetaskiwin, as well as with Indigenous communities, as well as his movement through the fire services, made him stand above many of the applicants. He comes to us as a very qualified and person that we believe can bring positive change.
Since Chief Sawicki hasn't been here too long, he's still taking in what the Lloydminster Fire Department and the rest of the city has to offer.
It's a learning curve for me still, knowing I've only been here 2 days, so it's going to take some time to look through all the different plans that have been put in place, talking to the crews and finding out, what needs that they're looking for as well, and kind of move from there. So it'll be a learning curve for a little bit.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Property crime prevention was a hot topic at the Lions Club monthly meeting today. Constable Mike Hagel of the Lloydminster RCMP was in attendance to give a presentation on ways to prevent property crime. Some of the tips included leaving lights on outside your house, getting to know your neighbors, and not leaving your running vehicle unattended, as trucks thefts have become common in the border city.
Enforcement and engineering. Do not post on social media that you're leaving. Wait till you get home to post those really good beach pictures. Another big takeaway, the one I always tell people, especially in the winter months, do not leave your vehicle running. Do not leave the keys in the vehicle unattended.
The RCMP hoped that with events like this, they can help educate the public on ways to help lower crime in the city.
Hopefully we're going to see a continued decrease in our crime trends. We did see a decrease in property crime over the last year, and I'm hoping the more we educate people, the more our crime is going to go down.
And residents are encouraged to report any suspicious activity they see in their neighborhood to the RCMP. And now a look at your evening weather with our Abby St. John.
Well, thanks, Judy. Taking a look at our current temperatures, -9 currently here in Lloydminster. We've been experiencing some light snowfall through the majority of today, and it will continue, hopefully dying off before tomorrow morning. Coming in from the northwest is 24-kilometer-per-hour winds, making it feel closer to -17 with that wind chill. Across Alberta, -16 in Cold Lake, -15 in Athabasca, -8 in Edmonton, -3 in Red Deer, -4 in Edson, -6 in Whitecourt, and -2 in Rocky Mountain House and in Jasper. And on the Saskatchewan side, -14 in Meadow Lake, -12 in Prince Albert, -16 in Melfort, -5 in Saskatoon, and -7 in North Battleford. Overnight in North Battleford will continue to snow, light snowfall periods of it throughout this evening and dying off by tomorrow morning. And the temperature will drop to -28 overnight, and the wind will be coming in from the north-northeast at 15 kilometers per hour and slow down to 6 kilometers per hour coming in from the west tomorrow, with the daytime high of -22. In Cold Lake overnight, they will have experienced some periods of light snowfall again overnight, dying off by early tomorrow morning around midnight. with the temperature dropping to -28, and that wind will be at 13 kilometers per hour coming in from the north-northeast and slow down to 9 kilometers per hour coming in from the south-southwest tomorrow with a daytime high of -18. Here in Lloydminster overnight, the temperature will drop to -29, and that wind will be at 17 kilometers per hour coming from the north-northeast and slow down to 9 kilometers per hour coming from the south-southwest tomorrow with a daytime high of -21, and that 21 will feel closer to -35 with that wind chill and a low of -29. On Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -8, which will feel closer to -19 and a low of -25. And then on Friday, a fairly sunny day with just a little bit of cloud coverage with a high of -9, which will feel closer to -29 and a low of -11. That is a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Today marks the 4th annual Canada's Agriculture Day, and the theme, Forks Up for Canadian Agriculture. Events include a Quebec poultry farmer who is celebrating women in agriculture with 60 farmers, as well as hundreds of students in school in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver gathered to hear stories and get to know farmers and the advantages of Canadian-made products. Agriculture and Agri-Foods Marie Claude will be marking the day in Ottawa, where she will provide remarks at the national event. Agriculture and Agri-Food accounts for 1 in 8 jobs in Canada. And now here are your agriculture prices for today.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
This past weekend in the Bobcats' 3-2 win over the Drayton Valley Thunder, the Bobcats snapped a 9-game losing streak. In this week's Beyond the Boards, our Evan Kenny explains how 1-goal games could have changed the season around.
9 games is a long streak, winning or losing. And while the outcome wasn't what the Bobcats would have liked, a few bounces could have changed the outlook of the season.
Sometimes it's just a bounce here and there that makes a big difference, and they're close games, which could have went either way, but sometimes it is the bounces that come to defeat us.
Since December 13th, the Bobcats have 2 wins, but have had the chance for more. In that time frame, the Bobcats have been in 7 1-goal games.
Our goals against at the start of the year were upwards of 7 plus. We've trimmed those all the way down to 4, which is pretty drastic. And the offensive side of us, we're averaging just 2 goals a game, which has been a part of our game all year, is looking to create more offense. And I think that plays into how tight games are. Even if you go back to Friday night, it was a 2-2 hockey game for the better part of 60.
1-goal game losses are something the Bobcats lead the league in. Over the entire season, the Bobcats have lost by 15 times.
Well, I think if you take the 15 1-goals and then if you put in the empty netters, there it's 6 more, so we're at 21, and it's just such a fine line.
With just 6 games remaining in the season, the Bobcats have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Between bad bounces, tough penalties, and silly mistakes, those 15 losses could have been 30 points for the Bobcats in the standings.
And I think for our young guys, carrying into the stretch here and into next year, just knowing what that's like, I don't think you create as much nervousness.
I just keep building blocks. We're always focusing and trying to get better for next year and keep continuing the correct strides and the right way to play.
In the Bobcats' last 2 home games, they'll host the Sherwood Park Crusaders and the Olds Grizzlies. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Centre Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Centre Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
After more than a decade, the Lakeland Rustlers men's volleyball team is headed back to the ACAC Conference Championship. The Rustlers earned their spot in the postseason with a weekend split against the Augustana Vikings. Head coach Taylor Dyer says he's proud of the team, who were without captain Matt Peck and middle Tyler Williamson due to injury, and added it's nice to finally get past his hurdle.
A bit of a sigh of relief for me, as far as, it's been 8 years since I took over with the men's program, trying to change the culture and trying to start a winning tradition here. And so that first step is getting to the playoffs, and now let's see what kind of noise we can make.
Augustana swept the women's squad over the weekend. The Rustlers end the regular season this Saturday at home. And now for another look at your evening weather with our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Judy. Taking a look at our satellite radar, lots of snow activity in and around the Edmonton area, making its way more southeast to Lloydminster. We had experienced a lot of light snowfall today and will continue, hopefully dying off by early tomorrow morning around midnight. Maybe up in Cold Lake as well, could experience some more snowfall into this evening and dying off by tomorrow morning. On the Saskatchewan side, lots of snow activity over the past couple of hours in the Maidstone, Macklin, even out in North Battleford as well. Could still see some snowfall, periods of it this evening, and dying off by tomorrow morning. -9 currently here in Lloydminster, as well as in Meadow Lake, -15 up in Isle of Cross, -12 in Green Lake and Pierceland, -8 in St. Walburg and Maidstone, -7 in North Battleford, -5 in Macklin. And on the Alberta side, -5 down in Provost, -7 in Wainwright, -8 in Vermilion and Edmonton and St. Paul, -6 in Marwayne, -9 in Vegreville, -10 in Bonnyville, and -16 in Cold Lake, -14 up in Lac La Biche. For tomorrow, -21 here in Lloydminster, -15 in Provost and Lac La Biche, -18 in Wainwright, St. Paul, Bonnyville, and Cold Lake, -19 in Vermilion, -20 in Marwayne, -17 in Vegreville, and -12 out in Edmonton. On the Saskatchewan side, -20 up in Isle of Cross and in Meadow Lake, -21 in St. Walburg and Maidstone, -19 in Green Lake, -18 in Pierceland, -22 in North Battleford, and -17 in Macklin. Overnight across the region, snowfall could happen in Meadow Lake, Isle of Cross, Pierceland, Unity, Wainwright, Paradise Hill, Bonnyville, and Provost. Murnum sitting fairly cloudy overnight with temperatures at -29 in Meadow Lake and Pierceland, -30 in Isle of Cross and Paradise Hill, -28 in Unity and Bonnyville, -25 in Provost, -26 in Murnum and Wainwright for overnight temperatures. Your school day forecast for tomorrow at 8 a.m. it'll be -28, which should be a fairly sunny and clear skies. By the time recess rolls around, it'll be -27 with just a little bit of cloud coverage rolling in. And at lunchtime, it'll be around -24 with that same mix of sun and cloud. And then at school, by the time school is out, it'll be -21, and it should be back to being clear and sunny with a low of -29. And then on Thursday, mix of sun and cloud with a high of -8 and a low of -25. On Friday, a little bit more sun with a high of -9 and a low of -11. To start your weekend off on Saturday, it'll be a high of -17 and a low of -24. On Sunday, a high of -15 and a low of -19. Back on Monday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -13 and a low of -22. And back on Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -6 and a low of -19. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news and the question of the day coming up after the break.
Well, today, February 11th, marks International Day of Women and Girls in Science. The question was, do you think more women and girls are choosing to pursue more sciences? And I say, yes, they are. It's so good that we get to see that, and it's good that they're celebrating that and enhancing that and getting them to get more involved.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with you. I think a lot, we have so many women in history who have created so much amazing work in science and other STEAM programs and stuff that we need to encourage more girls to go towards, because I feel like a lot of girls you know, may not feel that they should pursue science because it's such a male-driven profession. I was doing a little bit of research on this, and I came across the UN Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organizations website, and they're still doing studies. They're stepping away from looking at statistics and actually going further in, but they did say that less than 30% of the world's researchers are women, and numerous studies have found that women in STEM fields publish less, are paid less for their research, and do not progress as far as men as well. And I think that also needs to be highlighted and needs to do more research to go further into why that's the case and why women and girls aren't choosing to pursue those kind of scientific fields.
And I think, like you said, they don't get enough money and they're not getting paid as well as men, so that hinders them from getting into that field, but they should. We're smart women, we could invent a lot of things, especially for sicknesses and stuff. You never know, right?
And I know so many girls and women who love science and that should pursue it.
Definitely. On that note, we're going to go to pets. Thanks for sending your pet pics for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in Jax, an adorable but giant dog, around German Shepherd, as we can kind of see by the fur. And he came in with Zeus, that big dog that we got adopted or was adopted, thankfully, a couple weeks ago. So tell me just a little bit about Jax's journey.
Yeah, so he was at Fort McMurray SPCA there. I think he was there for just a little bit over a year. So then they wanted to, again, transfer, give him a different scenery kind of thing. So he transferred in with Zeus, that old timer that we had. And yeah, like he's a really good dog. He loves every person that he meets. He just isn't a fan of every dog or cat that he meets, unfortunately. So he does need to go to a home without those animals present. We don't know how he would be with livestock and stuff, but I do think that he would be best suited for a farm, or at least a family that's gonna run him a little bit and help him get back into shape.
And so not really great with dogs or cats. Kids, have you noticed, has kids been by to see him or to check him out, and how does he react towards them?
Yeah, he doesn't seem terrible, but he's still, like, he's about 5 years old, but he's still pretty bouncy. Like, he knows a few of his tricks and things like that, but he doesn't know his size, I don't think. So we would probably recommend a home with older kids or no kids. Like, again, we're not worried about him around little kids, but just of him bowling them over kind of thing, in that worry that he might hurt them kind of thing. But yeah, no, we're not too concerned with anyone other than the dogs and cats.
And you mentioned that he is trained a little bit. He can do paw and sit and lie down. So would he also be, you know, house trained and potty trained, so he wouldn't mess up anyone's house?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to go inside. He'll wait till we come in the morning and put him outside. He does have the occasional accident. Again, you know, we're not there all night, so unfortunately sometimes they just can't hold it. But but yeah, no, he definitely would prefer to be outside and going to the bathroom outside.
And so now we have Valentine's Day coming up, and the SPCA, you're doing pictures on Thursday, the day before.
Yes.
And you've got you found a new photographer for your Pet of the Week as well. Would you like to touch on both of those?
Yeah, it's called Kim Cologne Photography. So she's just over by the Canada Revenue Agency. So she wanted to get involved. She wanted to get involved with us and, you know, kind of spruce up our photos, a little bit of our Pets of the Week, and then we'll see kind of where we want to go from there with our other animals. But yeah, it seems the only one that hasn't gone yet that she's done a photo of is Igloo, or one of our cats back at the shelter. And yeah, so she really knows how to spiff them up. I mean, a few of them, it took a while for us to get photos, but so Jax will be our next one today.
And then Valentine's Day pictures are coming up as well. What do people kind of need to know if they want to get their picture taken?
Yeah, so it's just on Thursday at PetSmart. So it'll be over by the adoption center because they do have dog training that night as well. So we're going to do it over by the adoption center. And but yeah, you can bring your animals. I mean, we like to say all animals, but I'm sure anything bigger than a dog, we're going to be a little a little crowded. But yeah, no, it's Thursday on the 13th from 4 to 8. So we'll be there for 4 hours doing those photos, and hopefully we have a pretty good turnout. And then we also have our cat event for the 14th and 15th, so Friday and Saturday. And just so we can try and find some of our adult cats some homes to go to, because we have ranging around 15 cats that need to find their forever homes.
And just speaking on cats and number-wise, how are you guys doing with dogs and cat-wise? Getting more fosters in, more strays? Has strays been a big problem so far?
So far, our waiting list is doing pretty good. I mean, we have the occasional one coming in from bylaw. But yeah, otherwise we are still full on our cats. That's why we kind of want to have this event, just to kind of try and find homes for the adults as well. Kittens, we don't really have a problem with, right? So we're just doing the adults, just so we can try and call off that waiting list, because there is quite a few people that have been waiting quite some time, very patiently for us. So we do appreciate that. But yeah, that's why we are trying to make some room so we can call those people as well.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for bringing in Jax, and hopefully your events that are coming up, the cat event especially, goes well, and you're able to find these animals, and especially the cats, their forever homes.
Yes, us too.
Yeah.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall, Hot 101.3 and Boom 95.3 radio stations around the Lakeland. And here's what's going on in the area. Family Day Monday in Bonnyville starts at 5 o'clock. It's the International Food Extravaganza. It's all put on by the Bonnyville Community Church, and Pastor Ken joins me now. Pastor Ken, what's going on Monday?
Monday, we are doing our annual international meal, and we have done this for at least 18 years. And what we do is just bring all the different nations and the different ethnic groups together to celebrate around food.
What kind of different foods coming? I know I was talking to the Filipino community. They'll have some. What are some others?
Oh yeah, Filipino. I'm from the Caribbean, and I'm specifically from Trinidad and Tobago. So I'll be cooking up a lot of Trinidad and Tobago food. We'll have Hungarian this year, which we haven't had before, and we have Ukrainian. We have Mexican, and some others. So just come along.
You could get your tickets right here at iMobile Repair, and $15 to get in. Hot1013fm.com is where you can get more details. Why do you guys do this, Pastor Ken?
Why we do it is to celebrate our community and to celebrate the diversity of our community. A lot of people don't recognize that we have so many different nations represented in this small community of Bonnyville. And so we just like to bring the nations together and the different ethnic groups together and celebrate.
Thanks, Pastor Ken.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
And if you have an event you would like to feature on What's Happening, shoot me an email, jmarshall@stingray.com.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall from Primetime Local News right here in Cold Lake at Kinisoo Ridge Snow Resort, catching up with Sales Supervisor Luke Brown, all the way from Australia, man.
Hell yeah, it's good to be here.
Luke, what part of Australia, man?
Down from Melbourne, down south.
And you like the cold, eh?
I love the cold. Can always warm up, can't always cool down. So.
Do you like puck?
Puck?
Hockey?
Yeah, it's a good watch, actually. I've been to a few local games, so yeah, it's fun.
Good stuff. You know what is going to be fun? Family Day long weekend. We got Snow Jula right here, and it's awesome because it's free. Free lift tickets, free tubing, so much fun.
Yep, it's going to be a busy day here, I think. There's so much going on. We got fireworks, light parade coming down the hill towards the end of the night. What else? There's
bands?
There's bands, live entertainment. I would be a part of that.
Unheard ofs.
The unheard ofs. So it's just a bit of a mixture of locals and the ski hill employees. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. There's a few bands, I think one coming from BC, one coming from Edmonton, and I was able to get a hold of a guy back home, DM'd on Instagram, and he happened to get back to me. So yeah, he's flying over from Melbourne as well to give us a headlining show at Snowdula, Feb 15th.
That's cool. Family Day, long weekend. It's been incredibly busy. I mean, if you look at the lift coming up, people are going behind us, saying hi. Why has it been so busy, you think?
The weather has been very kind to us. The holiday break, we did record sales over 12 days. So it's been very busy. Today is actually pretty busy as well. And then, yeah, hey buddy. And then, yeah, there was a bit of a cold snap. But then, yeah, it's picked up right again with this warm weather.
And lots of snowboarders. So this is the train park, right?
Yeah, it draws people from far and wide. Actually, it's pretty up to date. People do come out here and they say they love the terrain park here. We've actually just revamped it as well. So the past month and a bit, we had a terrain park, but we just we revamped it and people are loving it.
And loving the tube park as well.
Yeah, tube park. We've actually. Didn't happen last year, but this year we've run out of tubes up there. It's been really busy. Yeah. So yeah, we've had to actually palm off customers that it's been that busy.
We got a wide viewing area here on Primetime Local News, Lloydminster, Cold Lake, Lac La Biche. Why should people take the maybe sometime 2.5-hour drive to come to Kinisoo Ridge Snow Resort?
Well, we've obviously got the awesome terrain park, but we're actually a very family-orientated hill. We offer lessons to adults and children, and it's just it's the
real deal.
It's the real deal, and people actually comment on how friendly our staff are and how good the lessons were and how much the kids enjoyed it and stuff. So it's just a really good vibe around the place.
If you have a new skier, you talked a lot about lessons. Is it important to take lessons, or can I just slap on a snowboard, slap on some skis, and here we go, Luke?
You could try, but you might hurt yourself or someone else. So it's I can vouch for it myself. I took a lesson, and I was much better for it. Safer to yourself. You won't get injured, and you won't crash into anyone around you. You'll have.
Nobody's hit us yet. I'm good.
Yeah, well, they're pretty good skis and snowboards out here.
That's good. You know what's really good? Lots of people from all around the area just come out here for lunch. Your cafe is incredible.
It's insane. I had someone come in on a day off, and they're just like, "Oh, can we grab a pizza?" I'm like, "Nah, sorry, we're closed." It's really good food here. I've had even mums and dads stay out here the whole day upstairs just having food and waiting for their kids to come back in from having an awesome time.
You're so passionate, man.
You think so?
Yes, 100%.
That's why I came back here.
Second year?
Second year this year, yep.
What makes you keep coming back?
Oh, as I said, the employee, the vibes, it's just a great place to be around. Everyone that comes out here is happy, so yeah.
You heard Luke, the vibes. It's incredible here at Kinisoo Ridge Snow Resort. Come check it out in Cold Lake. Let's send it back to you guys in studio.
Well, today celebrates a lot of women and girls in sciences, and I love sciences. Did you take sciences when you were in school?
I did, and I wanted to base my career around science, doing forensics and all that. Then I realized I'm not that great at science, so I had to make a career switch. But I did see a lot of my friends that are girls, they loved science, and they were so good at it, so I did go for them for help.
And stuff, yeah.
I have seen so many girls who just love science in general and will take all of the separate science courses like chem and physics and all that, and it just blows me away. And
I think biology was my thing.
Yeah, I find a lot of girls very love biology and chemistry and all those kind of sciences.
Oh, I love it. I could do that forever, I think.
Yeah.
And that is it for the show. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.